So I also wanted to introduce my colleague, Sonika. She's the person who's developed the app here. And so what we're trying to do is we've got a Wi-Fi connector. So the drone, the midcopter is primarily our Wi-Fi router. And I'm trying to connect from my Windows 8 tablet to the midcopter on Wi-Fi. And it's not working. It's still connecting. Let me disconnect. And I'm trying to connect again. No, not on her. Okay. No. There are too many Wi-Fis around. So give us a second for us to connect.
If you guys want to work on that, we can say a few words.
Sure, please go ahead.
First of all, I'll say a couple things. Maybe Cliff wants to say a couple things. So I'm Joseph. It's good to meet all of you. I think that was the first Nepali ASP.NET presentation I've ever heard in my life. So I didn't understand any of it, but it looked great. So good job. Cool hair, by the way. That's pretty good. We have to take a picture, by the way. That's awesome. So, as Alan said, I live in India, although you probably can tell I'm not Indian. I've been there about a year, and I've been at Microsoft about 18 years. So I started right out of college, and I came to Microsoft in Redmond. I've done a bunch of different jobs in different business groups, and also living outside of the U.S. in Russia and in Germany, and now in India. And I guess one of probably the most exciting parts of the job is coming to places like this and spending time with all of you. It's incredibly energizing to me. I know it is to Cliff as well. To anyone who works at Microsoft, it's great to see the passion and the excitement of developers anywhere around the world who are coming together and learning and getting trained on various topics relating to Windows. I think the other point is that this is probably the most exciting time to be a Windows developer or an IT professional ever. If you look at where we are at Microsoft today and you think about what we've done over the past year, almost every product that we have at Microsoft has been refreshed, right? I mean, we had the biggest launch we've ever done with Windows 8 this year. We have a new version of Windows Phone, and Alan tells me that there's actually Nokia Lumias that you could buy here with Windows Phone 8, I believe, here in Nepal. So that's exciting. We have a new version of Office. We have a new version of Windows Server 2012. We have a new service, Office 365. I don't know if folks have tried that out, but it's actually going to be the fastest growing service that Microsoft has ever put up. And with that, we also found time to do a new version of Halo for any of you who play Xbox. So, there's a ton of exciting things happening at Microsoft, and we're super pleased that there's such a great facility here in Kathmandu, the Microsoft Innovation Center here, that all of you could come and learn and share and be interactive. So thanks again for being here today. If you have any questions, perhaps of me after Cliff says a few words, I'm sure we'd be happy to take some questions. Or if you're too shy and you don't want to ask them now, you could always find me on Facebook, Joseph Landis. You could Skype me. You could follow me on Twitter at Joseph Landis, and we love being interactive and answering your questions. So thanks very much.
So I'll follow the 3 rules of public speaking: be brief, be bright, be gone. First of all, thanks for the introduction. I'm really glad to be here. I'm actually, my team, we have a fairly small team in Redmond that is responsible for the Microsoft Innovation Centers. And right now the team is all relatively new, including me, to the mix. And that team is all over the world meeting MIC teams and the people who run them. We've got people in Latin America, Brazil, Mexico primarily. I've got a group now in Southeast Asia, Australia, Philippines, Indonesia, Singapore. I'm here in India visiting the MICs that Joseph has opened recently, and we also have a group in Central Eastern Europe and Southern Europe looking at those MICs. And the amazing thing about the MICs is, perhaps with the exception of Joseph's, they're all different. They're all amazingly different. They all have the same name. They all do many of the same things, but in fundamentally different ways. And what the thing I think that is going to be best, first of all, I have to say, too, the MIC Nepal has always been known as one of the most innovative, and I can see why. Having sat through the presentations, watch what's going on here, I can actually, and it's not that I say that, it's not like, the Rolling Stones saying, hey, it's great to be in Paris, it's good in St. Petersburg. It really is this is probably one of the most interesting MICs I've ever visited, and I think you're all doing outstanding work. One of the things I really would love to see is far more communication now between the MICs about best practices and so on. I think there's a lot that what you do, both as MICs and as partners in the MICs, there's a lot you could teach the rest of the world. So I'd love to find some mechanism for sharing that. We have an MIC summit every year. Last year was in Spain, and Alan was there, and I think he got a lot out of meeting the other MIC teams. So let's share what you guys are doing. I'm incredibly impressed and excited, and really sort of actually privileged to be working with you all. The other thing is, you have a very close neighbor. While organizationally in Microsoft, Nepal is sort of part of our Asia Pacific organization. India's just, you know that, right? It's just there. And we're actually working with Joseph. I think he'd be very open for people who want to go down there and visit him and visit his mix. And I think he would be very open to invitations for him or his team to come back here. I can imagine at one of your .NET sessions, perhaps, one of Joseph's team come up and speak out about the things they're doing here, or maybe some MIC.
We'd love to. That'd be great.
So I'm just extremely excited. As Alan mentioned, my team is we're, as a company, very focused on making sure that we're growing success with early stage companies. That means everything from high school students to university students, to university graduates, to doctorates who are looking to create businesses. Because more and more, the gap between education and being an entrepreneur or a business person has shrunk. It used to be that you needed lots more training. Technology was expensive. Technology access was difficult. Financial, the costs of actually starting a business were very high. Those costs haven't come to zero, but they've come much, much lower than they ever have been. And we now see cases all over the world of 14, 15, 16, 17, 18-year-old students actually achieving phenomenal success in business. In fact, if you get to be 35, you're probably too old. It's like you're like David Beckham. Soccer has passed you by. So really, I'd love to see. I think the thing that our team is very